Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra Kaye. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for joining me on the African Diaspora News Channel, where you can catch me Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Time. Again, Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Time. And of course, you can find me on my own channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, on Facebook and YouTube, Sunday, 5 p.m. So Sunday through Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central Time. Again, Sunday through Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central Time. And I am live there as well. And I do other little videos here and there, shorts, about me going to the gym, and all that other stuff. But anyway, today we are going to continue on with the conversation that is still trending. And this is just kind of like, unfortunately, the gift that keeps on giving. But we're going to be talking about Blacks being accused of being anti-Asian due to the calls to boycott their businesses. And I will say that there's some of them who understand, but there's a lot who are like, what? And they're calling us anti-Asian. So we're going to break all that down. And who do we have here? Andrea, how you doing? Mike, nice. JJ Mars in the building. So I will say today, I'm going to start at the bottom of the comments. That way I can kind of make sure I get everybody. McQueen, what's going on with you? So anyway, let's go ahead and get started for the sake of time. Sister Shirley in the building. Anyway, as you guys already know, and you've heard a lot about, still hearing a lot about, on Monday, Rick Chow, Chinese American who was the owner of a gas station in Columbia, South Carolina. He was acquitted of taking the life of Cyrus Belton, a 14-year-old who they, I guess, thought maybe stole some water bottles or whatever it was. And they chased him, they being Rick and his son, Andy, who was an adult as well, chased him about 133 yards and then, shot him in his back, taking his life. There were no water bottles found. They did find a gun, but there was no evidence that he ever drew the gun or anything like that. All of the witnesses said we never saw it. Although the son, Andy, was like, well, I saw it. I saw a silver thing. And then the attorney for the prosecution, they was like, how did you see a silver thing and the gun was black, right? So just a bunch of lies and things like that. Nevertheless, he was found not guilty. Now, from that point, there has been some protest in Columbia, South Carolina. I would say nothing major, right? Because the family had called for, hey, let's just kind of do it online type thing, but nothing physical. But from that point, calls for boycotts of Asian businesses, right? From our community, and it's really, really growing legs, and people are really, really taking it seriously. And so from that conversation, you have some in the Asian community are like, wait a minute now. But before I show you one video of an Asian gentleman kind of taking exception to that, I'm going to show you a video from Cyrus's mother and his father and the things that she is still enduring.
To sit up there and make it seem like we were bad parents, because we were not. All of our children make mistakes, but I don't see anybody saying, oh, well, you know what? My kid did X, Y, and Z. My kid did X, Y, and Z. No, they're coming onto my page and try to demonize my child, and I will not have it. And it stops today. Keep your opinions to yourself. And until you are in my shoes and you have to bury a child, I don't want to hear nothing from you.
So again, that was Mrs. Carmack Belton, Cyrus's mother, and his father, Troy, was standing next to him along with their lawyer, Mr. Rutherford, I believe his name is, and she's basically addressing the racism that's still under her. Now, she might have made her page private, but apparently people are going under her post and things like that. And saying horrible things like her son deserved it. The typical stuff they do to us, the same kind of stuff they're even to this day saying about George Floyd, right? He deserved it and all this other stuff. And so she had to address it at a vigil that they were having, like, yo, leave me alone. Like, the ultimate has happened to me already. I've lost my child. And then on top of that, I had to watch as the person who took my child's life was found not guilty for doing that. And then you guys are still messing with me. But see, we're not surprised by that, because that's the evil that is out there, especially with, anti-blackness. They don't see us as humans. Can we agree to that? That they, not just the triple OG oppressor, But a lot of other groups of people who are anti-black, they don't see us as humans, so they think it's okay to do. Because imagine if that was a white woman and black folks or whatever was doing that to her. You'd have Trump, JD Vance, and all the top notch racists, trying to ruin their lives like they did right with Charlie Kirk. Y'all remember they were hunting down people, and a lot of black folks, like students, are getting them kicked out of school and all kind of stuff because they were doing what? Their First Amendment right, but they don't want you to do that. So I'm just kind of showing y'all some of what they're still dealing with. Hopefully that stops. Now, the next video I'm going to show you comes from an Asian gentleman who is not happy about hearing about the boycotts.
How did was disgusting and cruel, but the reactions to his verdict are very concerning. There's a lot of black people trying to boycott Asian businesses, which really irked me, because I never see them boycotting white businesses whenever a white person kills a black person. The double standard is crazy, especially considering that white people kill way more black people than Asians do. And the reason why Asians are being targeted as a whole here is rooted in racism. In the Western world, we are viewed as a monolith, whereas whites are viewed as individuals. That's why the entire community gets punished for something only one of us does. And I know it's 100% racist because you will only see East and Southeast Asian businesses getting boycotted, not South Asians, because they don't look Asian. What does a Japanese or Vietnamese restaurant even have to do with the Chinese man's crime? If you live in the US and you look Asian, your parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles are in danger. This situation reminds me of a story my mom once told me. It happened right after I was born and she was still new to the US. One day she was waiting at a bus stop and the bus pulled in and the driver took a look at her but then drove off without saying a word. She was so confused until she read the news that day and realized an Asian person had recently killed a black person and the driver was black. I really wish both communities could unite, but right now it's unrealistic because there's so much ignorance on both sides. The end.
Okay, so again, he was basically saying that it's 100% racist for us to do that. And we lump them all together, but I want to kind of address the 100% racist. So it's racist because we're saying, hey, the relationship between blacks and Asians is not really a good one. And he even said it, right? It's not a good one. And we are tired of seeing our people, especially our children, being mowed down and nobody is going to be held accountable. So that's racist. Like, so what are we supposed to do? Well, it's just one child, right? You just did it to one child. Or Latasha Harlins, that's not a big deal because we know what happened in 1992 when it went all the way up. Yeah, they said it was about Rodney King, but it was really about Latasha Harlins, the 15-year-old that had her life taken from her, from Suda Ju, or Judah, whatever her name is. That's what that was about. But we're supposed to say, well, that's okay. Well, just don't do it again, okay? Just try not to do. So we're considered to be racist because we don't like it. Okay. And then he says, well, basically we try to lump them all together. It's like, ain't that what y'all do to us? Y'all know the term that people are using nowadays, the flat blackness, right? It don't matter where you come from, y'all black. That's what they do. So it's like, okay, y'all, white folks, Latinos, everybody can do it to us. But when we say, hey, Asians, they kind of be doing stuff to us. That's not all of us, but it's all of us though, right? I'm just kind of pointing out some things that he's saying. He said it's double standards because we don't boycott white businesses. See, I know they probably knew here, right? They knew more than us, and we always boycott white businesses. But even if we didn't boycott white business, let's say we never did, does that give your people a pass to do what they do to us? Because you don't do boycott the whites, you shouldn't be is that what you're saying? Like, why do you think that we should just continue to take the disrespect and the unaliving of our people? It's lunacy, right? So he didn't like it. Of course, he gave the example about the black bus driver, but you gloss over the examples that we have when we go up into y'all shops, huh? And I got something for y'all. I'm going to show y'all, but I'm just kind of just breaking down the video. Okay, so he wants to talk about it's anti-Asian. Well, I got some anti-black examples for him. Okay, hopefully he will see this. Now, y'all know we always talk about Mr. Edward Bloom, right? Y'all know Edward Bloom. He's the attorney. He's not even an attorney for what I understand. He might be now, but back then he wasn't. He's the one that goes around with the Asian community, right? Mostly Chinese. and they got the educational component of the affirmative action, thing taken down when they went to Supreme Court, because they thought that, it was Black folks that was keeping the smartest population here in America. That's the Asians, right? That's what they say, out of these, big time institutions and Harvards and things like that. Well, I found a video from 2015 and I said, aha, that's his axe to grind. Y'all ready? Here we go.
Best allies is right here in the room. Ed Chen and his wife Eugenia Chen. When I filed my first lawsuit in 1993, I had just lost an election running to represent the 18th Congressional District of Texas. I was the Republican nominee, and I was defeated. I didn't win. Most people didn't think I would win. But I was upset with the way that the district here in Texas was drawn. It was drawn along the lines of a racial gerrymander. And what that really meant was that neighborhoods in Houston that were multiracial and multi-ethnic were split apart by their race and ethnicity to create safe, homogeneous racial districts.
And what was the problem with that? That Black folks wanted to be together to be safe, homogenous. Why did you have a problem with that? But if maybe you didn't pick up on it, but I'm going to tell you. So he says that he filed his first lawsuit, even though he's not a lawyer. Okay. At the time he wasn't, in 1993, because he was running in the 18th district in Houston. Do y'all know what the 18th district is? You might not know it as the 18th district, but you know who was in the 18th district, right? I would tell you it is predominantly Black, okay, even still. But it was Sheila Jackson Lee's seat. It was Sylvester Turner's seat. And now it's Christian Menifee. Remember him and Al Green was going back and forth over that district. It is still predominantly Black. So he even said, well, I knew I wasn't going to win, but I ran anyway. So he said, I was upset that I lost. And from that point, he has been grinding his axe against Black folks, and he used the Asians to do it. As he said, Wendy and somebody Chen, her husband, thanks to them, because they both, they all together started this crusade. Because in the videos, about an hour and 20 minutes long, and I admitted I didn't watch the whole thing, but they were basically saying it's not right that, Asians are kept out of these, universities because we are smart, but we don't get to because, people of race and this, that, and the other. So that started his crusade. So if you ask me, and just in my opinion, he using them anyway. Just thought y'all should see why he's mad. Okay. Now I'm going to take y'all to a nail salon. I think it might be, I don't know where it's at. I don't want to say it's Houston. I did see one that was in Houston, but this particular video, and for the life of me, I don't understand why our women are so damn hard-headed, but here we go.
In the middle of trying to get a set done, and this woman says, can I get my nails done first? Can this be done first? And they said yes, right? What was your guys' names? And this was Luxury NT, and they still made me pay, right? No one wants to say anything now? After you just made me pay? After you and you asked if you could just get your nails done in front of me after I had been here? Yes, exactly. Speak to me. Say something. Say something. Sorry. And you still made me pay.
Why did you make her pay?
Exactly. And what about her? What about her asking if she can get her nails done first?
Okay, I refund for you, okay?
No, she did. She said, can this get be done first? She did say that. But she did ask. Why would you ask that?
Okay, sorry, I refund for you.
So what had happened was the sister, I guess she was going to get her service done, whether it was her feet or hands, I don't know. But they made her pay first, right? Some of them do that because maybe they think you're going to run off under the service. I didn't know. But she had to pay first. But then the Latino asked the Asian, hey, let me go first. And she did. She let her cut in line. The sister's like, I was already here. So she let the Latina cut in line, and she said she didn't have to pay. but I had to pay. Well, like, what's the difference here? So then you heard the white woman was like, yeah, why did you make her pay? Which also makes us believe what? That white woman didn't have to pay. The Latina didn't have to pay, but the black woman got to pay. So I'm just kind of trying to show y'all some examples because the Asian gentleman was like, oh, it's anti-Asian for y'all to want to boycott us. And it's like, if you don't mind me asking, sir, what would you consider to be the line of, okay, why now I understand why black folks don't want to mess with us no more? Well, like, what would be that line for you? Okay. Now, I also want to say, in all fairness, it is not all Asians, just like it's not all blacks, right? But they really feeling the kind of way about this boycott talk because I think they're like, ooh, maybe they're serious, right? Okay, so I'm going to show y'all this. Y'all probably seen this before, but it's a gentleman by the name of Gene Wu, and he's explaining, the relationship between blacks and Asians.
The Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. But the problem is our communities are divided. For Asian Americans and for African Americans, we probably have one of the worst relationships between any community.
Well, I bet you a lot of Asian Americans too don't, in my experience, don't even realize that if it wasn't for the civil rights movement, there would not be 22 million Asian Americans in this country.
Thank you. What I have been trying to teach the Asian community is like, friends, do you understand that your success, your prosperity, your civil rights that you enjoy right now was paid for with black blood?
Well, maybe you need to tell them again because they're a little bit confused, right? Again, as you heard him say, do you know that y'all would not be here? Okay. He didn't say Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese. He said Asians. You would not be here if it was not for the blood of Black Americans who fought for civil rights that we don't benefit from, right? That everybody else benefits from. Even the 14th Amendment birthright citizenship, that right now is at the Supreme Court this month. They're supposed to be saying, hey, we agree with Trump or we disagree. Now, Trump is saying the 14th Amendment was meant for the babies of slaves, but the Democratic Party and everybody else is like, no, it's meant for everybody. It's meant for illegal immigrants so they could come over here and they can have children and they get to stay. And we just, we champion for them. And it was meant for us, right? So to his point, he tells his people, knock it off. What you mad at black folks for? Because like we do stuff on an individual basis, but like the first guy said, y'all like to lump us all together, but Black Americans ain't did nothing to nobody. Not like as a group of people. Like we don't, wake up in the morning, put on our clothes and say, now let's go target people. Let's go mess with white people. Like we don't, that ain't what we do. But somehow everybody wants to home in on us and say, okay, bullseye. That's who we're going to target. Okay. What else do we have? Now, I showed y'all this yesterday. I'm adding it to my greatest hits. Okay. Of the foolishness that black folks have to deal with from everybody else. Okay. Now I'll explain it to you in just a second.
Afternoon. I'm Yuyo. No AB7. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Charles Wong. I'm a member of California Professional Scientists Association, and I oppose this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Frank Xu. I'm with Californians for Equal Rights Foundation. I strongly oppose AB7. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was them in California opposing a bill that would have given California descendants of slavery that opportunity to have preferential treatment when it comes to enrollment, right? But of course, we knew that wasn't going to fly, and that was by Assemblyman Isaac Bryan, sucker, because Edward Bloom and them had already went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court was like, yeah, they can't get preferential treatment because of race, right? But nevertheless, that was some Asians right there in California and showed up to the meeting. Okay, with their green shirts. I oppose this bill. No. Isn't that anti-Black? But you're calling us anti-Asian? That is anti-Black. I don't know. I can't think of, I'm not saying it's never happened, but has there ever been a group of Black folks that got together and said, well, we gonna go and tell them we don't want the Asian? Where? Show it to me. I'll talk about it, right? I'm not saying it didn't happen, but knowing all that our people have gone through from slavery even to now, you put on your shoes to go to a meeting and say, no, I oppose this bill at the very least. They didn't say we was getting college for free. They said we might be able to, cut the line. And they showed up, as Gene said, mind you, y'all, a lot of y'all here due to the blood, sweat, and tears of Black Americans, but then y'all have the audacity to show up and oppose something because you think we might be getting something, okay? What else do we have? Now, of course, y'all have heard all about the Asian hate crime bill that Roland Martin says is for everybody. And I'm going to tell you right now, he's a not bold, but a bald-faced lie. Okay? Now here, just a couple of snippets. It says, Black and Asian unity attacks on elders spark reckoning with racism roots. Now this one here, it says the suspects in some of these attacks were Black men, and some Asian Americans have responded with stereotypes of their own, blaming supposed anti-Asian sentiment from the Black community for the crimes. This narrative, which has not been supported by evidence, has nevertheless shoved a new wedge into age-old cracks between Blacks and Asian immigrant communities in the U.S. Okay? Now, I like how I said Asian immigrants because we were here first. You moved into our communities. You want to do some funky stuff to us, and then when we don't like it, now, were there some Black folks doing something to Asians? Yes, there were. But that really came from Trump when he was talking about the Kong flu. Y'all remember when the COVID was running around and he says, yeah, it came from a lab in Wuhan, China, and all this, a Kong flu. So he ginned up the mob, MAGA, right? And then they started showing little videos, whether it was San Francisco, New York, of Black folks jumping on, elderly Asians. Now let's get back to this. Well, it's not all Asians. Well, we don't get that luxury. It's Blacks. In this article I just read, does it say, well, whether they were Haitian, Jamaican, Black American? No, Blacks. Blacks get the blame for this, okay? Now, this particular article, it says anti-Asian hate crime rose 73% last year. This is 2021, so that would have been 2020. It says updated FBI data says. Now it says white people made up more than 55% of the offenders across the board, the FBI said, a contrast to what viral clips perpetuated. Again, y'all saw all those clips of Black people rocking them, socking them with older people, but it was mostly white people who was doing the harm to them, okay? Now, it says the way that the media is covering and the way that people are understanding anti-Asian hate at this moment in some ways draws attention to these long-standing anti-Asian biases in the U.S., says Asian America in June. It says, but the racist kind of tropes that come along with it, especially that it's predominantly Black people attacking Asian Americans who are elderly, there's not really any empirical basis in that. So like, we don't really see the examples and all of that's going on. But nevertheless, that didn't stop Joe Biden and Kamala and Congress from giving them an anti-Asian hate crime bill. That didn't stop them. They didn't look at the FBI. I mean, they got more access to the FBI than we do. They could have walked across the street or took a bus or rode a bike, wherever, made a phone call. And they could have said, before we go with this bill, who is really the boogeyman of Asians? Oh, white people do it more, so it's not the Blacks? Oh, because we've been asking for a hate crime bill, and those same FBI statistics could say that we are, targeted number one, but we don't have a hate crime bill. So to build an Asian hate crime bill off of a lie, that is Black folks and the Asian community who was as they were getting the bill signed, for y'all not to say, hey, that ain't right. Let's if we're gonna get it, let's get it in truth. That's anti-black, to build it off of a lie that we are the boogeyman of Asians. Okay, now let's also keep it 100. Black folks ain't moving around Asians or setting up shops in Asian communities. They wouldn't let you. Okay, so I just want to be clear that we didn't land on y'all. Y'all landed on us. And mad that we're saying, get the hell off of us, right? Okay, now I always talk about this. Obstacle to black reparations in California is convincing Latinos and Asians. Now, yeah, the study that came out said that we should have gotten about $1.2 million. But of course, we know that the California Legislative Black Caucus, they blocked for Big Daddy Gavin Newsom, the governor. And they didn't even take the bills before him at all, right? But Asians and Latinos, they opposed it. Well, we don't think that's right. We weren't slave masters and they had all the excuses in the book as to why black folks who are descendants of slavery, which slavery is a horrible thing that has happened to our people, they oppose that. But that's not anti-black. I think that's anti-black. Like, you are actively campaigning to stop people who were robbed of what was owed to them after what was robbed from them. You're opposing that. That's anti-black, but we're anti-Asian. I ain't really seen no overall evidence of us being anti-Asian. Now, again, they're saying, well, because you want to boycott, it's anti-black. Listen, you can't tell me where to spend my money. If I don't want to spend my money with you, how is that anti-Asian? And let me ask you this. How many Asian dollars go into black businesses? Can we also say that that's anti-black, that you don't shop with us, you don't spend money with black folks? But how dare I see if we said something like that about them, guess what? They might have a good case for a hate crime bill, infraction, because that's what we deal with. You gotta, I don't know if I could say that, because they got a hate crime bill and I might get in trouble. But I got something else to show you. This right here is gonna make you think. Because remember the other day when I asked the question, I said, are Black Americans punks? Because everybody treats us any and every kind of way, and we kind of just take it sometimes, right? We've seen copious amount of stories of being attacked, and nail salons and beauty supplies and everywhere. And even that video I showed you of that black woman, how dare you? Oh, you took the Latina. She didn't have to pay no money. The white woman didn't have to pay no money, but you made my black self pay. Like, you made her pay before you even did anything and then let the Latina cut her off. Okay? So this video here, hold on to your britches if you're wearing them.
Black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and hip hop culture. Where do you think that's made in? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are not neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see your own women get on their hands and knees and do pedicures and manicures and deal with nasty attitudes, okay? Please, boycott Asian business. I'm all for it.
Excuse me? He mad, ain't he? He is big mad. Sir, why are you that angry with us? You know what he said essentially was, F you. How dare you? How dare you with your black nerve to want to boycott us? All the things we do for y'all. You can't stand a little, violence every once in a while. You can't stand that we take the life of one of your children once in a while. So if that's how you want to act, Then fine. You guys won't have no dry cleaners. You won't have this. You won't have that. It's like, listen, homie, y'all still less in population than we are. And you were back in the gap. It was probably 2 or 3 of y'all when Madam C.J. Walker was doing what she was doing. So who the hell you think was doing that before you got over here? We was doing that. I tell y'all, my family had a dry cleaner years ago, and most of us used to take, and when I say I'm 55, right? So, but we used to take our clothes to a black dry cleaners. You ain't doing nothing we never did, but you mad. You got the gall to be mad because black folks are saying, no, thank you. I don't want to pay to be disrespected by your people no more. I don't want to ever have to read or see a story about a black child never getting the opportunity to grow up because your people would chase him down the street and take his life over some funky water that he never stole in the first place. So that child don't like it. Well, here, see how you do without us. And then you heard him say, we don't live next to y'all anyway. We live next to white folks. Aha. You're telling on yourself. Because, see, we know they got that when we want to be as close to white as possible, right? Because we want them to like us. And then if you ask me, I think that's really what it is. That's why, partially why they do black folks the way they do. Because, look, white people, if you think you hate them, homasaki, okay? I'm going to show you just how much I hate them too. See, they move in, and maybe if they don't move in, but we definitely know what? We know that their businesses are in our communities. And so he told the truth. He told the truth that, yes, we have our businesses in your community, but then and don't I always say that? After we take that big sack of money that we have from our got from your people from our businesses, we gonna move and go help the white people. We live with the white people. So we take black dollars and then we go to the white neighborhood. Those ain't my words. Those are his words. He said it out loud, being all spicy. Okay. He told y'all, he told me. Yeah, we'll take your money to see how you do without the cleaners and the this and the that and the this and the that. But I take your money and we go to the white neighborhoods and how y'all doing? Show all their teeth. Hi. Right? It hurt their feelings if somebody white say something to them. But you mad at us because we're saying no more? Y'all sound a lot like white folks. You sounded a lot like Massa. You know, when slavery ended, it was the law. You have to let us go. They were salty. Just because we weren't on the plantations, that don't mean that they weren't still. I'm going to tell y'all right now, and it is my goal. I'm going to try to get to Los Angeles this summer. If you think I'm lying, I'm flying. One of my daddy's good friends, okay? Brother Robert, one of his good friends. Do you know? He's about 86, maybe 87 now, that his family, they were still enslaved. I forget, like Georgia or something like that, still enslaved. I didn't say 285 or 185. He's 85, 86, 87 years old. He said they didn't know. They were held captive. He said he had to escape and enrolled into the army. He escaped. I promise you, I'm going to try my best to get there, to get this interview for y'all so y'all can see. And I think his story needs to be told. But I'm saying all that to say, yeah, we were freed from the plantations, but they still did all the things to us that they did on the plantation, even convict leasing and things like that. And they were mad. They were mad that they couldn't own people anymore. So they found ways to do things to us and to still own us. Disproportionately, it's our people in those prisons. That's what you call ownership. All the things. Now, here are the Asians. You're mad because we're saying, no, we don't want that relationship with y'all no more. We don't want where we give you all of our money or a lot of our money, and then you will have no problem with unaliving our children. We don't want that no more, and you mad. So If that don't wake you up, I don't know what will. But before I get into the comment section again, I'm gonna start close to the bottom. This is the solution. That doesn't say boycott, it says boycott. Okay. Because if our objective is to just not spend money with that sucker that I just showed y'all, if our objective is to just, okay, well, I'm not going to spend money with you, then that's kind of really half the battle, because then who do we spend our money with, right? And to his point, I want to concede, or the other guy's point. See, white folks, they are the triple OGs of oppressing us, okay? So if we don't spend with the Asians, who do we spend with if we don't put that money back into our own businesses? Because we have to build our own businesses. So a boycott, and this is Nuri Muhammad, right? A boycott is we buy into our own businesses. We funnel all that money, nearly $2 trillion coming into the Black community spending power. We give 97% of that away. And I think it was Dr. Claude Anderson that said, we are very good at boycotting. We boycott each other. What else do you call it when you don't put money into your own community and you give it to everybody else? You are economically boycotting your own people to enrich other people who will tell you F you for finally drawing the line in the sand with the disrespect from my people. So we got to buy into our own businesses, because we want to make a believer out of him. We want to make him a believer. See, the reason why he talks like that, because they also study us. And they know we got amnesia. We going to be mad for a minute. Then we going to go back in there. I need a fresh set. My nails. I need some nails. I need my eyelashes done. You know, and all that. They know we're very forgiving and forgetful people. So anyway, speaking of investing, if y'all would, if you haven't already, please invest into our app, African Diaspora News channel. You can get from your Google or your Apple Play Store. It is Black owned, and we have made it for your beautiful Black self. And even if you ain't Black, you can, and say buy Black and sell to everybody. You can invest in our app as well, right? It's an investment, $9.99 a month, $9.99 is, nowadays is something, but to have a Black app that you can get these stories, because I'm telling you right now, you're not going to get these conversations from white media. You're not going to get it from some of these Black media outlets, because they want to keep you on plantations. They want to keep you mentally on the plantation. That is not going to serve you at all. But see, here, we're going to have conversations so we can get to the bottom line. And that is do for self, up you mighty nation, accomplish what you will, and practice group economics. So anyway, I'm in the comment section for the next 22 minutes. Here we go. I'm going to stop. Oh, no, I have to find somebody donated. So I want to acknowledge them. So bear with me. I'm going to go all the way. Here we go. There. Sheba, how you doing? Thank you so much for that. He says, over other people when we've done everything to bless this country. I don't care what they think of us. They are reprobate and demonic. So who cares? Let's focus on ourselves. Stay out of their stores. I love it. And I 100% co-sign it. And thank you so much for that. It is much appreciated. Okay, now I'm going back to the bottom. Hey, Beverly Pop, what's going on with you? I just see some other names. Let me go all the way back down, because there's a lot of comments in here and I'll never catch up to where I need to be. Let's see. I'm going to stop right here. Quincy, how you doing? Says that boy from the picture Sean looks like a burst of sunshine. Condolences, family. And I'm not quite sure which picture that is. And that's probably really how far behind I am. So let me go down. Here we go. I'm going to start here. Just Reason, how you doing? Says, yes, ma'am, uptight. Brother Damon, what's going on? You say facts. Kiji, what's going on? You say no more. Sister B, you say exactly. Letitia, how you doing? So you're saying hello to Tammy. Tyrone, what's going on? Cassandra says, I say boycott everything and everybody. Oakland, California Finest, what's going on? Says, I wear my own hair nails, sometimes rarely eat Asian food. Yeah, I know it's probably easier to put a wig on. I'm not shaming anybody, because I know, if I step outside, somebody might jump me behind talking about a wig. I don't care what you wear. But I'm just saying, if you get, there's black wig makers, find them, buy a wig from them, you know. And there's a lot of black folks that do nails. The last time I got my nails done, it was by a black woman. My feet too, and that was a couple years ago. I could do it myself, but that was the last time somebody touched my nails. She was black. That's absolutely. Let's see. Buckhorse, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Natasha, you says I want nothing. Jackie Brown, how you doing? Says, are they trying to get another? And let me see, because it's too small for me to see. Bag. Are you talking about the Asian? Are you trying to get another bag? You know, I don't know what they're trying to do. They're mad because one of their big. Listen, there's no doubt in my mind that black folks are their biggest customers. We know that white folks won't let them set up shops in their neighborhood. That's a proven fact. They won't let them because they don't want all that stuff in their neighborhood, right? They never have it. They never put up with the buffets and the chicken and rice houses and the nails. They would never put up with that. So they get loans to go set up shop in our community. So yeah. But they're mad that we're pulling ourselves away from that. They don't like that. So they're calling us anti-Asian. JJ, you say not even a minute, more like 15 seconds. You talking about how we forget, right? Well, we're gonna stop doing that. Jeffrey, how you doing? Says we only have soul food restaurants. The Asians have our fish markets and fried chicken places. But listen, like I said, maybe I'm just too old. Maybe I'm amongst some of the oldest people in this conversation. I remember we used to have the you buy, we fry. I used to go with my grandmama in LA all the time. She go to a black owned fish market, buy the fish, and they fry it for free. Okay, fried chicken and all that. That's what we used to do. My mama fried some of the best fried chicken on the planet. So we don't need them to do that. But yeah, we got to change that. I mean, if you want to eat fried chicken, right? I'm not going to shame you. I like fried chicken every once in a while. John, how you doing? It says, if you have to do business from your apartment, homes, go hand out flyers right in front of their businesses if you can get a loan. Well, see, they could do it to you, but you can't do it to them. Los Angeles, it's overrun with illegal immigrants that set up shop in front of people's businesses. And they can do that. So imagine you get the business licenses and all the bells and the whistles and all the things that you have to do to open up a business. And then when you go and turn the key to your business that day, you got to buy step a whole bunch of tents and fruit stands and all these other things for people who are allowed to do that. They're allowed to do that in Los Angeles. In fact, they made it possible that you could cook up out your house. A lot of that was because of ICE. They didn't want the illegal immigrants to, be afraid to go outside, so you can go to them. But see, they wouldn't let you do that to them. But I hear what you're saying. Tammy, how you doing? Says we have no allies. Nope, and we need to be allies to our own people, right? Facts and feelings. How you doing? Says I only shop at black-owned businesses and businesses that hire black people. Before you shop at one of their local stores, shop at a box store that hire blacks like Target and Walmart. But see, I mean, I agree with you, but they wanted to boycott Target and Walmart. They hire a lot of black folks. But your Jamal Bryant and all those people, they had a big time. Tamika Mowry, all of them, they want to boycott Target. They hire a lot of black people. It's like, so do you have some black jobs for them once they lose their job? Like, so yeah. And I agree with you. There are some, like I said, some businesses that hire black people. Okay. So you can't just set up shop in the black community and say, I'm not going to hire none of y'all. No, we need some of that money to come back to the people that live in the community. So I hear what you're saying. Global Rejection TV, how you doing? Says if black people were protected class, you wouldn't have these problems. Yeah, but the very people that we vote for the most, the Democrats, I know the Republicans not so much, but the Democrats, they run around right now. If you think I'm lying, you can go and look on any social media, even the news, and you see Democrats, and a lot of them are black, crashing out over illegal immigrants at that Delaney Hall Detention Center in Newark, New Jersey, right now as we speak. They don't care about us at all. They care about everybody else. Jesse, how you doing? Mr. B 1004, what's going on with you? Says if you boycott every Asian store, you target a whole group. Why is the onus always on us to be considerate? I don't know. I don't understand that. I get it because other people see us as nothing. But why we got to consider that more than anybody else considers it? When the Asians got a hate crime bill, they didn't say it was Haitians, Jamaicans, Black Americans. They said blacks. But we got to consider that. We got to have a conversation when we don't want to target all Asians. And I agree that it's not all of them, just like it ain't all blacks. But it's always us that has to stop and think. We sure we want to do this? Think about why we're even having this conversation. A little boy will never grow up because his life was taken from him over being accused of stealing water. Just want to put that out there. Black Vega, what's going on with you? Says, I think it's more so about the catering and pampering aspect of getting nails done. Black women really could do that themselves. Yeah, I'll get the pampering thing or whatever. I've already told y'all that I had a cosmetology license, so I know how to do all those things. But I also know a lot of them shops ain't really cleaning their stuff good like that. They're getting people in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. I know what it takes to clean the equipment. Do you think they cleaning all that equipment like it's supposed to be? Probably not. Like, think about it. You'll lay down in a chair that may or may not be sanitized, especially with the Hanta virus and all the stuff going on. You'll lay down in a chair, lean back, and allow them to put eyelashes on your eyes. You don't know if they cleaning that stuff good. Listen. If they ain't gonna feed you the right food, do you think they really taking the time and the care to clean their stuff that they're putting on your face? They probably I mean, really, you know what I'm saying? We've heard countless stories of people's eyes infected and their nails and I mean, what do you think you're gonna get for $19.99? I don't know. I'm just asking. But I hear what you're saying. Mikey, how you doing? He says, tell them to go to Asian community and count the number of black, they won't be there long. Count black owned stores in their neighborhoods. Could we say that's anti-black? I agree with you. Taz, how you doing? Says, learn to make your own Chinese fried rice. I did. As always, what is no, he said, with no peas and carrots, fry those up, make you some rice, and then you'll get a skillet. Put the rice in the skillet and start with your comment cut off. Yeah, I mean, you could Google that if that's what you really like. You know, I totally agree with you. Malicious, what's going on with you? Said that kumbaya nonsense keeps us weak. Yeah, and you know, we want to remain to be amiable and nice and sweet as a people. But as my mom used to always say, walk softly, but carry a big stick. Like I come in peace, right? But I wear you out if you mess with me. You know what I mean? So yeah, Mama Deb, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. Kaihuru, I hope I said that right. How you doing? Says they should have learned how to quit being so disrespectful. No, they don't want to have that conversation. They want us to just put up with it. Dr. Sharon, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Shan, how you doing? Says, here is the truth. Thing is that what we as a people do right, right? It will be other, I think you meant Asian or Kansas and Rosewood and the other black community that we got. It be another one of those. Oh, no. See, because we ain't finna be playing with nobody. You not gonna be coming up in here trying to ruin anything. Because see, I'm not saying about our ancestors. And the other thing, I hate that they don't really give a good conversation about when they were ruining and destroying our towns. Is our people was going toe to toe with them. In Tulsa, our people was giving them a run for the money. And guess what those y'all fill in the blanks did? They went and got other hateful white people in other towns to join them because our people was giving them a run for their money, right? So that's the story we always need to tell. Our people that say, well, you want to come in here. And that's why it got popping. Because they went and they got the brother out of jail. It's like, you're not going to be stringing none of ours up on no tree. And so they couldn't defeat them. So they went and got other people. This is a true story to help them do the job. And also, we got to put in that was the first time in United States history that they dropped kabooms on citizens. So they had a little help. But see, we in a new day. So we're not going to not try, because we not what? We not punks. We're going to always try to get our stuff back together, because we all we got. So we're not going to walk around here with hearts pumping Kool-Aid because we afraid of what they did, this, that, and the other. It's a new day. It's a new day. And like I said, a lot of us is like, what do I got to lose? But I'm not going to walk around here bent over and scratching when I don't itch. When it comes to these people, the Asians don't do it. The Latinos don't do it, right? Nobody else is expected to bend over and but us. So even if they still wanted to do that, guess what? We ain't going to open the door. You're going to have to kick it in. So I hope that helps. But I hear what you're saying. Though Charmon, I know I jacked your name up, but how you doing? Says, we go among ourselves. These people follow. They obsessed with black people. Well, wouldn't you be? Look at us. I would be obsessed with us too. In fact, I am. So I don't blame them. But it's like, leave us alone, because now you're becoming stalkers. Right? Tyrone says, is that Madam C.J. Walker's house? It is. It's Villa Raro. That is her house. I some people say, you might want to change your picture. And I'm like, no, because I like us having this conversation. This is what it's about. If she could do it, we can too. I'm just saying. So yeah, that's her. She's a washerwoman, and she built that. To see how you doing? It says we must keep that $1.7 trillion in black hands. Yep, absolutely. Sean, how you doing? Says we owe no one. Stop supporting non-FBA businesses. You ain't got to tell me twice. I know it's hard. We don't have the stuff we need now, but let's be strategic. Well, we got to send a message to everybody. The day of the disrespect. Because see, if you give a person an inch, they take a mile. We'll choke out they women in the salons. We could probably take the life of their children. See, we'll see how far we could go with them. At what point do we check the disrespect? Now, I'm advocating more for economics. Some people are advocating for other things. I will not tell you what to do. But I think that is better if we go about it economically speaking, right? Black Shine says they claim to have black fatigue. They should definitely support this. Yeah, get away from us. Is y'all tired of us? Bye. Benita, how you doing? Says, why would they give immigrants any power to oppose anything regarding us citizens in this country? Well, they have them to believe that they are the model minority, right? Like, you guys are the better minority. And plus, white supremacy, they can use a little help every once in a while. If they get help of other people to keep us, suppressed, then so be it. But they don't like them that much either. They don't mind being used, because in a sense, the other groups are like, well, they don't really mess with us like they mess with the blacks, so we'll join them. Sheila says this FBA ain't gonna forget, and definitely ain't gonna get amnesia either. I know that's right. Michael, how you doing? Says forgetful by convenience. Yeah, that was so long ago. That I ain't heard nobody doing it now. Well, how many more times do you need to hear of somebody taking the life of black children before you just decide, and maybe I need to find something else to spend my money on, Ezra, how you doing? You say, let's not forget the cultural appropriation. That's a whole other topic that they want to fight with us over. No, it's not. So you mean to tell me Asians just run around with afros and do-rags? That's what y'all was already doing. Those K-pop groups, they got a different version of Michael Jackson from when, from when he was black to when he was white. Talk like him, dance like him, sound like him. Where's the Asian Michael Jackson that didn't cosplay Michael Jackson? you know. So yeah. Anyway, I thought that I would be able to keep up with the comments thus far, but I'm not gonna do it. Y'all are typing away. I do want to get to here though. Let's see. Wow, y'all got a lot of comments, but that's good though. Y'all might not all be even talking to me. Y'all might be talking to each other. Fat son, long time no see. How you doing? And thank you so much for that. He says, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Keep up the good work, Queen. You know, I shall, and you all motivate me to do this. I promise you, I do. As I always say, I like having a conversation with y'all, good, bad, or indifferent, because I learn a lot of stuff from y'all as well. Hopefully, y'all learn something from me because I've learned it from other people as well, right? And I like to call what we're doing a conversation, even though I can't hear y'all. I can see most of your comments is because we should be having a conversation. I want to see what you guys think about it, and I want to be able to address some of that. Just like y'all can hear me, I'm one of those people, and I just me. I can only speak for myself. I don't think it's fair that you would show up and just watch me because I'm not that interested. Okay, I put together. Look. I have notes. You probably can't really see them. There you go. So I have a roadmap. I have notes what I'm going to talk about, okay? Where I'm going to go, the videos I'm going to show. I have to sit down here about an hour and a half before I actually come on here. And I do that. And the reason I'm telling y'all this, in case you guys might go live yourself, right? You might do your own live feeds or whatever. I'm telling you this is because it is never my objective to waste your time. I don't want to do that to y'all. I want to come on here. I want to be strategic. I want to back up everything I'm saying as best I can. I don't want to be on here. And some of it is opinion, right? But for the most part, I want to show y'all where I got it, show you where you can go continue and learn more and not really be accused of, oh, she's anti-Asian. Am I? I show my work. I'm asking, how are we anti-Asian when there's more evidence that there's a lot of anti-Blackness from everybody? And maybe we'll get into it one day, but I want to see where it's been proven in history. I even say all of history, where Black folks here in America have gone as a group of people and targeted anybody because of what they are or were. Now, if I had to reach, I could see why the Asians might say, oh, well, you're targeting us. Are we targeting you? Are we having a conversation we always have? Buy Black. Stop giving your money to everybody. That's not a target. Why do you think that's you being like? See, that's hubris. You're making this all about you. It has really nothing to do with you. It has something to do with what you've done to us, but it really has something to do with us. So y'all don't have to worry about watching us when we come into your store. We're in our own store, and maybe we got to watch some of our own people. But you ain't got to worry about that. You ain't got to worry about making us pay first because you think we might run out with wet feet and fingernails. You ain't got to worry about that. Because now we're putting the money in our own communities and we're staying with ourselves. In any town you go to, you could drive to a section of that town and it's Asians. They don't say, well, this is just Japanese. This is Vietnamese. It's Asians. It's all kind of Asian businesses, stores, banks. You can't listen. You can't even read what the building is because it's in their language. But when we say let's do that, well, that's anti. See, the truth is you're mad because we're going to be taking that little funky money you claim that we don't really need. Like y'all don't need. Y'all mad because we're talking about withdrawing the money from y'all. And that's okay. Y'all say y'all the wealthiest and this, that, and the other. Y'all, we don't need you. Well, then line it up, homie. You go do the voodoo you do so well. Let's see how it works. And in the meantime, we as Black Americans are going to be getting our thing together because we don't worry about y'all like y'all worry about us. So anyway, I do love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Come back and see me on Tuesday, 11 a.m. Central Time. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend because when I click end, I'm off. Peace.